Make sure you make sure you dance with the one that brought you. Make sure you dance with the one that brought you. What's up, family? Hey, 6:30. Time to get a little sharper. What's happening with you? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Anti-Negativity Network. First thing before we get started, let's just make sure, because I know on last week we had some audio difficulties. So please let me know. I see my wife just popped on here, babe. Let me know if you can hear me. Just give me a thumbs up or a yes or something. But yeah, oh man, God is awesome. That's all I can say. Hey, Mama Jane, just give me a thumbs up that you can hear me. I just want to make sure you can hear me. I'm trying to make sure I don't have those audio difficulties like we did last week. But here to make it do what it do. Hopefully you can hear me, so I'm gonna keep going. Man, I'm just. Y'all have to forgive me. I'm just thankful. I'm just truly thankful to God for everything He has done and everything He's yet doing. And I just hope that the same thing is happening with you. If you're listening or if you're looking at me right now, I know that means that He's already been good to you because you're still living and you still got you in your right mind, and might not be everything like we wanted to be, but He's still blessing us. He's still keeping us. He's still watching over us. He's still giving us brand new mercies every day. Thank Mama Jane. Appreciate that. So, but look, let's go ahead and jump into this thing. Just man, there's so much. There's so much I want to say. So much that's going through my mind. Unfortunately, I don't have my wife with me, and she think it makes a difference when she's with me. It does make a difference when she's with me. And but I gotta do this. I gotta rock with it. Solo, me and him. So, yeah, good. Thanks, Dad. Appreciate you. Love you. So, yeah, doing something different this week because we had the audio issues last week, and then I messed around and left home and forgot my microphone. But don't adjust your sets. I ain't quite on top of the world, but I'm up. I'm looking up top right now. I'm sitting up top right now. So, but let's go ahead and do this. Y'all know how we do. On the count of three, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I had to get that breath of fresh air. I need it myself right now because just kind of running and ripping and running. But I'm excited. It's a big week here for me. So y'all keep me in your prayers. Y'all know how I feel about my TNBA. Y'all know how I feel about the National Bowling Association Incorporated. That is just, I can't put into words how special that is to me. And so just trying to represent and do what I'm called to do as president. And so I'm asking that you keep me in your prayers, that I can continue to do what I'm supposed to do and lead the way that I'm called to lead and be the president that I'm called to be. So, I'm asking for your prayers. What's up, Stroke? Appreciate you, brother. Love you, man. Get well, man. Keep doing what you got to do, man, to get yourself well, man. Love you, man. But all right, let's do this because I have to warn you on this one. This one, you might not be walking away from this one when you cut this one off and you listen to this one. You might not be feeling warm and fuzzy. This one might not have you leaving with a smile on your face. But what I'm asking, I'm hoping and praying for is that it makes you do some self-evaluation just to make sure you're doing all you can for your future and your family's future and all those that are going to come in contact with you. Clustel, what's up, darling? Hope all is well with you. Appreciate you. But those that are going to come in the reality is sometimes we have people that come in our life for a long time and it is just for a moment, right? But whoever we come in contact, we want to make sure that we leave a good impression. We want to make sure that we bless them in some kind of way. We don't want them walking away wishing they had never crossed our path, right? Now, I'm not saying that we're going to dot every I, cross every T, and be on our best behavior at all times, right? But we want to make sure as best as we can that whoever we come in contact with, that they walk away not feeling like they wish they had never came in contact with us. Okay? And so this message today, I'm hoping that it will have you do some self-evaluation, just kind of looking at yourself and saying, am I doing all I can? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing to make sure that I'm good, my family is good, and those that I'm supposed to be leading are good? Okay? And so we still rocking with Solomon. You know, we're still in First Kings, and we're actually going to roll over to First Kings chapter 11. Last week we was in chapter 10, and we talked about the Queen of Sheba. Hopefully you ladies heard at least that part last week before the audio part messed up. But you know, it was about Queen of Sheba. Queen of Sheba, trust me, even though she went to seek Solomon for just to find out if he was really legit, she went to find out is everything that everybody talking about with this Solomon dude, is it really all cracked up to be what it is? Well, she got there and she realized, no, it was more than what she thought. What everybody was saying, that still didn't really put it in perspective of the wisdom that he had and being in his presence, right? And so Queen of Sheba walked away feeling encouraged, but also walked away feeling like, yo, that guy's legit, okay? And then chapter 10 talked a little bit more about his wealth and his everything that he had built up, and I've always, what we've been talking about with Solomon is about making sure that we do all we can to have not only multiple streams of income, but we also want to set things up because we want to leave an inheritance for our kids and for our kids' kids, right? Okay, we trying to do what the scripture tell us to do. You know, just think about it. If somebody had left you with a car and a house, or 6 digits in the bank, how much different would your life be today? Right? How much grinding would you have to be? You still gonna have to grind, because it's just like Adam in the Garden of Eden back in the day. Yeah, God gave him everything, but he still told him, hey, you still got to do some work to maintain it. You still got to do what you got to do to continue to grow this and continue to take care of it. So even though somebody give you something, you still got to maintain it, right? But how much different would your life be had somebody giving you some stuff and things to start with, right? But anyway, that's what we're trying to do, okay? That's what we're charged to do. That's what we are supposed to be doing for our children and our children's children, and whoever else that comes across our path for the future. We need to be making sure we're leaving a legacy and leaving something other than bills. So, with that being said, let's go to chapter 11. And like I said, this might not be a warm and fuzzy message today, but hopefully it will challenge you to think, challenge you to focus on your life, okay, and the legacy that you're leaving. Because every last one of us has an expiration date. And so the family that we leaving behind, the loved ones that we leave behind, are we setting them up for success? There's already enough heartbreak, the fact that you're going to be gone. But what are we leaving behind? And so that chapter 11, I'd say let's get to chapter 11. But chapter 11 simply put, the first thing I got out of chapter 11 was that we had 10 chapters talking about the build up, the inheritance, David, Solomon's father, calling him wise, speaking into his life about him being wise. Okay, you had that going on. Then you hear about Solomon becoming the king, and he's just setting up shop, and he's just putting things in place to build the kingdom and to establish his rule as king. Okay, what's up, Rick? Appreciate you, brother. Love you, man. So we got all this going on, and then as Solomon continues on as king, the things that the wisdom that he gets from God, and that wisdom that he gets from God allows him to create wealth. Okay, so the wisdom that you get, you're supposed to be using that to create wealth. Okay, you're supposed to be using that to create a better life for yourself and your family. Okay, and that's what you're supposed to be doing with the wisdom. But stop looking for a handout We got to put some work in. It takes hard work and dedication to build. That's what we have to do. Solomon was doing that. He used what he was given and he asked for wisdom, took all of that and just went to another whole level, right? It can happen for us as well. Believe that. Okay. That's the reason why we've been spending time with Solomon to understand what it is we need to be doing so that we can also grow, so that we can also leave an inheritance for our family, so we can also make a positive impact out here, so we can leave a good legacy, right? That's why we've been hanging with Solomon. But unfortunately, in chapter 11, it's amazing. 10 chapters of all of that, and it just takes one chapter for everything to go straight down. And unfortunately, if you've been hanging with us at any length of time with this, you know that it was twice that God spoke to Solomon and told him, hey, you better make sure you follow what I'm telling you to do. I need you to do what I'm telling you to do. It pretty much was a warning to him. Do what I told, just as your father David did. I need you to make sure that you follow my decrees, follow my everything the laws, everything that I told you to do, Solomon. I need you to do that. Unfortunately, Solomon got lost in the sauce. And the first thing Solomon did, it was customary back in the day that these kings had many wives. Okay, don't you do that today? That ain't gonna work today. Don't try. Sorry. You only get one nowadays. You only get one wife. But back then he had, David had many wives. Solomon had many wives. But the problem with Solomon was that Solomon chose wives that came from a foreign land, which he was instructed not to do. So first thing first, he had foreign wives, and those foreign wives turned his heart from God. And now he started worshiping other gods with the small g, not the big G, small g gods. So now we got a problem. We got a problem. We got a serious problem, Solomon. Your heart is turned away from God, and you are now celebrating and serving and worshiping these little gods that came about because you was connected with these foreign wives, which I told you not to do. We got a problem. We got a problem. Houston, we got a problem. And unfortunately, that began the fall of Solomon because of disobedience, sin, not doing what he was supposed to do. And so, quite naturally, we can see ourselves right here in chapter 11. If we really being honest, if we looking looking within ourselves to make sure that we're trying to do all we can to dot the I's and cross the T's, which is another reason why we have to give thanks for Jesus. Because the reality is we are going to sin and come short of the glory of God. We have already done it. So we are here by grace. We're here literally today. I'm sitting here talking to you right now in this position simply because of his grace. Because if he really had dealt with me according to who Ron has been and has done, then this wouldn't be a conversation. You would not be listening to me right now. So we got to give thanks to Jesus because of him sacrificing himself so that we can have an opportunity to have life and have it more abundant. So that right there is enough to be excited right there, right? I know I am. Because God knows I'm thankful. God, oh my gosh. God, look at where I'm sitting. Tell me he ain't good. But man, Solomon, you had it all. And as a result of him being disobedient, it not only affected his life, but it affected his family's life. And it affected their inheritance that they would get. Because what happened was he ended up having some adversaries. He had some adversaries as a result of his sin, as a result of his losing focus. And I wrote them down because I wanted, y'all know me, I get excited. And let me just go to my notes and let you know real quick. And I always tell you, go read chapter 11 for yourself. But first thing he created, his first enemy was Hadad. He was an Edomite. which was already a group that was opposed to Israel. Okay? And then this guy ended up getting hooked up with Pharaoh, who was part of Egypt, which you already know that's a problem right there. Okay? So now this guy becomes one of Solomon's enemies. Another one, you had another guy that came up. His name was Rezon, R-E-Z-O-N. However way you're supposed to pronounce it, you pronounce it. Okay, but he straight up was a gang leader, pretty much. He was a rebel, and he was a bitter rival. Oh, Jesus. Rival. Okay? Let me slow down. He was a bitter rival of Israel. So now we got two guys who are connected with groups of people who is going against Solomon, who is with Israel. And then to make matters even worse, had an inside job. An inside person became an enemy of Solomon. Now this guy, his father was one of the officials. Thank you, E. Appreciate you, brother. I get excited, man. I get excited about this. And I can't slow down my mind going faster than the words come out of my mouth. But this guy right here, his father was one of Solomon's officials. So he knew some stuff that the outside folk didn't know. He knew some inside stuff. Can you imagine the conversation that took place at the dinner table? Daddy come home talking about work. He getting all this information. And as a result of all this information he takes, and he becomes an enemy of Solomon. So what ends up happening is, he ended up, his name was Jeroboam. Okay, again, y'all know me when it comes to the pronunciations of these names. It's not my strong suit. So, but that's the reason why you got to go read chapter 11 for yourself. But this guy, he became, like I said, enemy of Solomon. But he connected with a prophet that told him, I'm going to split up Solomon's kingdom in 12 pieces. You're going to end up with 10 of them. Solomon's family is only going to have one. So he only going to get 1/12 of everything that he built in those first 10 chapters that came from his father David. And the only reason why God didn't take it all from him was because of David. So if there's any kind of a silver lining in chapter 11, it's the fact that David doing what he was supposed to do, being the man that he was called to be, being the leader he was called to be. God said, I am not going to take it all simply because of what David did. But what Solomon did was so bad that God could have done that. Could have taken it all. Now, what would that have left for his family? So, again, the purpose of this today is that I need you to take a look at yourself. This ain't about nobody else. This is about you. And you doing what you need to do to set yourself up, to set your family up for the future. God is going to bless us. He's already been blessing us. And I believe he will continue to bless us. But we want to make sure that we get all that he has for us by doing what we're supposed to be doing. And making sure that we get our families in the position that we really want them to be in. It can happen when we get connected to him. We stay connected to him. If one thing we learn from Solomon is that even though we might sin and come short of the glory of God, because of Jesus Christ, we can run back, get it right, and continue to move forward. Now, please understand, Jesus ain't no get out of jail free card. Okay, he ain't no cosmic bellhop. He ain't no genie in the bottle. Because some things we do, we might have to pay for it. But at the end of the day, he still gives us grace. He gives us opportunity. And we want to take advantage of that opportunity. Let's not be like Solomon and turn away from God. We don't want to do that. We want to continue to roll with him Even when we get offline, just run back to him, get it right, get back in line. Let's keep going. He already paid the price for us. He gave us opportunity, and he's still giving it to us. As long as we got breath in our body, we have opportunity to do great things, because we were called to do great things. We were called to be great. So let's be what we were called to be. I'm out of here. I'm going to see you next week at 6:30. And what I always say to do, pray, plan, prepare, proceed. Let's go make it do what it do. I appreciate you. Love you. Thank you for hanging out with me. Stay beautiful. Stay blessed. Love you.